Como se va, everybody? All right, today we're going to be doing a Creole Jambalaya, and I want you to see these shrimp. When I first saw them, I was concerned because, come in here, cameraman, look at the coloring on them. See how they're pink? Well, as you know, most of us down here, when we start seeing this, we think they're going bad, but these are actually pink shrimp. They are a cross between a white shrimp and a ruby shrimp. These are caught in deep water. We got these from my good friend Brandon Miller at Miller's Mart, and they say they are a sweeter shrimp, and we're going to find out. We got this little tool right here. I don't know that I'm going to use it, but the first one I tested it on, it seemed to work pretty freaking good. Slide that sucker back in there, and boom, look at that. Deveins it, pops it right out of the shell, and you can't hardly beat that. So I think we're going to get these things peeled up, and we'll be back later with the rest of it. All right, let's get started with this. I'm going to go ahead and turn this fire on. I'm going to get it right around medium. We're doing almost a double recipe here. Anybody does want to know, just send me a comment, and we will get you the exact recipe. So let's get this butter melted down first. Okay, so we put 5 tablespoons of butter in here. This whole recipe, whatever measurements I give you, you can half that if you want to do a single recipe, which is 6 to 8 servings. So we want more than that. So we are going to do 1 1/2 of these Guidry's Holy Trinity. That's plenty of that. Probably too much. Get a little out of there. I want to keep some for my omelet tomorrow. Okay, that's about a half. All right, so we're going to saute this. And once this gets sauteed down, we'll go ahead and start adding the rest of our ingredients. All right, so our Holy Trinity is sauteed down. All right, so I forgot the garlic. So let's add some garlic in there. That'll be all right. You know my motto. Never too much garlic, never too much butter. Let's get that mixed in there real good. All right, now we're going to add about 21 cups of beef broth. Now keep in mind, with all these crazy ingredients, this is a Creole Jambalaya. Nothing like your standard jambalaya. Okay, let's get that mixed in there a little bit. All right, and then here we have 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. That in there. All right, now we're going to add 2 cups of rice, uncooked. All right, now we got here some cubed ham. Now the original recipe is 2 cups for 1. We don't have quite that much, so we're just going to put that much in there. I'm not going to get crazy with having a whole lot of ham in here. All right, got that kind of mixed up there. I hope by the time we add all this pot's big enough. I've got to get my other pot. All right, now we are going to put there again, the original recipe is for 28 ounces of canned tomatoes. We have a quart and a pint, and these will break up, as you'll see later. And these were homegrown canned tomatoes, as you can see, which is going to make it that much nicer. All right, now we're going to kind of break them up a little bit with the spoon. I'm gonna get it mixed up, and we are going to cover it and let it simmer for about 25 minutes. And then we are going to come back and add the most important ingredient of all. Stick around to find out what that is. I think you already know. All right. So here's our shrimp, nice and cleaned and deveined. That little tool worked out pretty good. Of course, you got to rinse them a little bit, but still didn't take that long. I think I could probably actually peel them faster myself, but they wouldn't be deveined. So we're going to cut these in half because we couldn't get smaller shrimp. This is really a pain in the butt with this brace on. But I got fussed at from my ortho for taking it off so much, so I'm going to leave it on. Got another 2 weeks to go, and hopefully I can get rid of this thing. Come on in here and take a look. We're about halfway through the simmering period. And it did say cover it, but I didn't cover it. I don't like having to remove that heavy cast iron lid, especially with my wrist like it is right now. And that is looking good. If you could only smell it. Okay, so our 25 minutes is up. And it looks like the rice is the way it's supposed to be. So we're going to add this shrimp down in there. Mix that up real good. It looks like we got plenty of room in this pot. I still want my 8 quart though. I'm not a super big fan of adding raw shrimp into stuff. This recipe is actually out of the book, Louisiana Best of the Best. So apparently it is a very common recipe, mostly in the lower part of the state, down where the Acadians and true Cajuns hang out the most. All right, so we're going to let this sit at least 10 minutes, stirring occasionally, uncovered. Okay, I think we're done. Let's turn this fire off, and we're going to check this out. All right, let's see here. All right, it's been a while since I've cooked this. I'm going to personally add a little salt to it because I like probably more salt than I should, but ça c'est bon.